Hey, everybody, welcome to Facebook Live with LeRoy Butler, and I'm Tom Silverstein from the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel and Packers News, and it is pregame. We're just a little bit over less than or more than a little more than an hour before kickoff, and the big news is Equinemius St. Brown is not active. That's the big news of the day today.
Hey, don't do the fans like that. You know what they want to know.
So, Aaron Rodgers, good to go, ready to play. What are you expecting?
I really don't know what to expect, because most of these guys who've had COVID who come back, they seem a little bit sluggish. And you could see that in Devontae Adams last week, although he had 14 targets. So I don't know what to expect. I think really both quarterbacks, him and Russell Wilson, may be a little rusty because, they both haven't played last week. Russell been out a few weeks. But you would think that at this point in the game, I'm sure that's why they activated him to say, if you're a veteran in this league, do you really need practice? Just go out there, try to manage the game, make the plays that are in front of you. But I am glad that he tested negative and was able to play, and hopefully he's feeling fantastic for everybody who come in contact with that kind of disease. And now you got to go play a football game. In America, if you have COVID, you can go home for 10 or 12 days, come back and just go sit at maybe a cubicle or a desk. But when
Right.
you're in the NFL, fans expect, if you're out there, they expect you to win.
Yeah. So, if you're Matt LaFleur, what are you expecting from Seattle? Do you think they come after him? Most teams don't like to blitz him. They're usually afraid of it. But do you think they come after him?
Absolutely. If you saw what you saw last week, and then you have some issues on the interior line, and then if you're thinking he's still a little weak, of course you got to come after him. I mean, wouldn't that be a shame if Seattle? But you don't have to worry about Seattle. The way they play their safety with Jamal Adams, he's going to come after the quarterback. I mean,
Mhm.
Aaron's going to figure out where he is. They're going to slide the line. We're going to have some opportunities down the field on this defense. So if you can hit MBS, Devontae Adams, they're going to be wide open because they're going to be able to run the ball. So all those things are true. But yes, you will see 8, 7, 8, maybe even 9 guys up, and they're just going to bring the house and just whatever happens, happen, especially when the weather's not that great.
Would you anticipate they come out trying to run the ball right away, or do you think they try to get him a little bit of rhythm going early?
If I know coaches like I know them, the first play will probably be some kind of bootleg just to get him into the just to get acclimated again about playing again. He'll get a huge standing ovation from the crowd, so he'll be going. So the first play, a second play will be a bootleg play because people think that maybe they'll start to run the ball because of the weather, but forget about that. It's about getting the first play. I'm if I had to predict, it'd be a play action, and he'll try to hit Josiah DeGuara in the flat just to get him going. And after that, who knows what they do?
Okay, so does the Packers defense treat Russell Wilson the same way they treated Mahomes and Kyler Murray, or is there more opportunity there to pressure him? Do you have to just be really strict with your lanes and be kind of careful about going after him, or do you go after him?
I think you go after him because you look at the numbers. That was the reason why before the Aaron Rodgers saga in the offseason, he was complaining about his offensive line not being good because he's been sacked a lot. Well, guess what? They haven't upgraded that offensive line to so much to where he feel like he can just stand behind a fortress. When you don't have a running game, because Carson is out, I believe. So if I were Green Bay, I would blitz him at every turn. I mean, I really would. And if he had by him being a pitcher or a basketball player who's a shooter like myself and Steph Curry, quarterbacks, if you didn't get to Steph Curry, I mean, never mind. But anything on that throwing arm or finger or shoulder, I'm going to test it. I don't think you will be as accurate as you normally would be, Tom. So yeah, I would blitz him quite a bit, and hopefully, for some reason, the ball gets a little slick. That can come to your advantage, and you can get him to fumble and things of that nature. So yeah, put pressure on him. You don't want him just standing up throwing it out there to one of the biggest receivers to ever play the game. And Lockett, for some reason, that guy's always open. So you got to take that away from him by blitzing him.
Now, if you are going to do that, how do you cover him? how do you cover DK Metcalf? How do you
59.
cover Lockett?
I thought you said Russell Wilson. I want 59 to spy Russell Wilson. But you know what I think they'll do? If Stokes is available, now upgrade me. Is Stokes available?
Yes, he is active. Kenny
Okay,
Clark is active.
That's perfect. So if you got Kevin King, you can rotate Kevin King and Stokes on 14. And then trust me, 29 has all the savvy he wants to try to cover Lockett. But I will say this: the two safeties has been playing amazing. They'll rotate coverages and things of that nature. I don't think this defense really likes to double guys. I think they like to force you into the coverage. In other words, they're rolling to your strong side. That's your best receiver. If he goes in motion, they'll just rotate safeties over there. So it's a lot of things you can do, especially if your linebackers are playing the way they played last week.
Yeah, a guy worth keeping an eye on too is D. Eskridge, their second-round pick from Western Michigan, who is just fast as can be. And this is the first game back from IR, from concussions. And I wonder if they're going to try to get him the ball in different kind of ways, use Metcalf and Lockett to kind of get out there and take some coverage away. But we'll see. It's his first game back, so he's another guy to keep an eye on as well. I do think, Aaron Jones has to have a big game. He's going to give Rodgers a lot of help here, but also A.J. Dillon. They've been kind of finding a way to balance that. Do you weigh either way on who you want to play more in this game?
Well, I'm a huge A.J. Dillon fan, but I'm an even huger, if that's a word. Cassidy gave me that word, huger. But I'm everything 33 does, I'm in. Receiving, protection, quick screens, all of that. When you play both of them together in the red zone, you could put A.J. Dillon at fullback. It's a lot of things you could do with these. This is a legitimately Dorsey Levens, Edgar Bennett combination. Where we would split Dorsey out and throw it to him, and then we would keep Edgar in, A.J. Dillon, and let him run the ball. When you're doing those kind of things, now the jet sweep comes back with everything. And I know that's the reason why they wanted Odell Beckham Jr. to be the kind of the jet sweep guy. They weren't able to get him. So Randall Cobb, they feel more than they're elated to even still have him. But Tom, I say it all the time. If you do motions and jet sweeps with multiple back sets, that confuses defenses. When you just come out and line up, it's a little bit easier to defend you. So if you could play both of them in the backfield at the same time, then Seattle doesn't really know who's going to get the ball. They don't know, they really just don't know what's going on. And there's a lot of things you can do there.
So do you still have confidence in Amari Rodgers returning punts?
Oh, that's a good question. Now, the barbershop says no. Let's move on to Randall Cobb. You remember Mike Pryor? He never dropped it. Mm-hmm. He just never dropped it. But we also had Desmond Howard when it was available to get, do everything. They got to start to rotate more guys in there to find out, because something is going on with his confidence. But for some reason, Drayton, the special team coach, believes in him. And I think they want to give him another couple weeks to see. But, people like to give up on you when you make mistakes. But the good thing about the Green Bay Packers, Tom, and I trust me, I know this personally, they give you a chance to succeed or fail. It's up to you. It's really up to you. So hopefully, it's a lot of condensation. It's a lot. You never know in Green Bay. It could be snowing. The sun may come out. It gets dark. Probably dark now. He has to get adjusted to that, because right now he's not really helping the team special team wise. And when you get a turnover, that makes people really put that spotlight, and really the spotlight should be on the holder, Bojo, and the new long snapper and Mason. But it's not. It's because of the special team return game. It hasn't been very good.
Yeah. And just to update you on the weather, the sun has come out. It looks pretty nice. I don't think it's going to be a big problem. The wind is, the flags at the top of the stadium are really blowing, but the ones in the on the goalposts are not horrendously blowing. So I think it's a pretty good day. That's true. But it does look like a good day for football, and you're right, it's going to be dark pretty soon. But we shall see about that. again, someone on our Facebook page asked who's the defensive MVP, suggesting Devondre Campbell. Do you agree, or you go
Campbell.
with Rashawn Gary, or?
It's Campbell to me by far because of the impact. I didn't see this coming. I was jealous of Tampa Bay, of their linebacker. That kid's a beast. Deion Jones in Atlanta. Everybody got these middle line Parsons with the Cowboys. But now you have Campbell, who is better than most of those guys are the same. You're like, where did this guy come from? And then now that elevates Burns. Now you got two linebackers flying around. So if I had to pick one guy, and not to mention Savage, one of my other favorite players, he's coming on as well. But it would have to be 59. This guy is so impactful for this defense. And that's the reason why you can see the difference between last year and this year, I would say, is 59 Campbell.
All right. Well, I think I probably agree with you. That's one of the one times I may have actually agreed with you in your lifetime. But, but don't count on that happening anymore, okay?
Yeah, it better happen Tuesday. Yeah, when we do X's and O's. Because I'm glad you brought that up because people still asking about protection. And we talked about it earlier. Do you think they fixed the protection, all the blitzing? Maybe they did it just for Jordan Love, but if you look at the Seattle defense, they blitz anyway. So hopefully,
and no David Bakhtiari today.
That was my next.
Yeah, so it'll be they'll stay status quo. Elton Jenkins will be out there, and they have to have a better plan. If Seattle,
how do you read into that him not being active? What do y'all media guys come up with this stuff?
Well, so I think it has to do with time. So I think 10 months is in Pat McKenzie's mind the absolute the amount of time it takes for a ACL to be ready. And so he got his surgery early in January. So that would put him right early in November. So now they've been working him. And I think they probably have some kind of, tests to determine is his strength good enough? How does he feel? Is he getting any swelling when he's playing? I think there's a lot of little factors like that. I wouldn't read a ton into it because, as you know, they're typically pretty cautious with their guys. They want him for the stretch run. And, it is a little, I did think he'd be back by now, but I'm not reading anything into it yet. If we get to December, he's not in, then I'm reading something into it.
Yeah, I think that would be. And we had another question from Tommy. He wants to know about the defense when Z returns. How would that I think I'm going to put a comma there, Tommy. How would that affect Rashad Gary? Rashad Gary is still your best pass rusher.
Yeah, he is right now.
Guy's playing amazing. I mean, you can still put Z on the inside. It's a plethora of things you can do, especially Kenny Clark. Now, how's Kenny Clark moving forward? Is he active or not active?
He is active.
That's great news because they really get after the quarterback if he's available.
Yeah, regarding the Zadarius Smith thing, the one thing I think it'd be great for them, but if I'm them, I'm not reducing Rashawn Gary snaps by one. Right. You got to keep him on the field because he is developing. So, all right. Well, almost an hour to go till game time, and we'll be there. I'll be here with my live blog. Be sure you join me. And you have anybody you want to thank before we head out?
I want to give Marvin a shout out. He said he likes my shirt. I take the leap. So if you go to leapspirits.com, you can find. I'm going to actually be on a tour at quite a few pick and saves. If you go to pickandsave.com or leapspirits.com, you can find out all where I'll be at. And then all you can do is once you purchase it, I sign, I can personalize it for you. And I think it starts this Wednesday. And I also want to thank Pick and Save and leapspirits.com. We've been giving away tickets for our veterans. So we have 4 veterans that are going to the game today. And we're giving away 4 more against the Rams. Because we love our veterans. We know we have Veterans Day. We love them and appreciate them. I think all veterans should be able to have a section in every stadium to watch a game for free. Why do we charge them after what they've done for us? when I'm president, I'll get that done.
Yeah, you get
Also, yeah, I will. Trust me, I'll get it done. But we love our veterans, so we're gonna help 8 veterans go to the next 2 home games. And again, I want to thank Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield of Milwaukee for helping me. I got about 10 or 11 vaccination events. Also have the Butler versus Bullying program that they support as well. I just appreciate everything they've done. And again, thank you to the fans for tuning in to us. And again, I want to thank Cassidy for helping us this week. She's been amazing, helping us get on so we can talk to you. And I think we're gonna do X's and O's. I'll think about making Tom famous and doing it again this week, but I don't know.
if you know what's good for you, you'll be there Tuesday. So,
Oh, I will be. Trust me.
all right, so will I.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, thanks for joining us, and enjoy the game, enjoy our coverage, and